If you're in your late 30s or 40s and are starting to notice some weight gain, especially around the belly, while doing the exact same things, it is not just in your head and you're not imagining it. This video is going to talk about the role that perimenopause is having on your weight loss strategies and exactly what you can do to support yourself. Before we dive in, I want you to know that I have been right where you are. This is me 60 pounds ago as a busy OB-GYN physician. Despite being an expert in women's health, this is something that I used to struggle with until I realized that toxic diet strategies and blindly doing more is never really going to work long term. Even as a physician, I thought that just working harder, eating less, and moving more was the strategy for me to lose weight. And if you've been around that block, you know that it doesn't really work. What I eventually realized through my own personal journey and after talking to professional women in every industry, I have realized that there is a mindset and a science to achieving your goals. Welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Priyanka Venugopal. I'm an OB-GYN physician turned stress and weight loss coach for professional women who self-identify as overachievers, and I am the founder of Burn Stress, Lose Weight. On this channel, I'm going to be breaking down the science, skills, and strategies that you need as a professional woman to feel empowered on your journey to feel your best, inside out, on the scale, and off. A quick note before we dive in, while I am a doctor, I am not your doctor. Think of this video as an educational tool where you can inform yourself and get inspired with strategies to feel better, but if you need medical advice, always work with your trained physician to make your own medical decisions. Now let's talk about perimenopause and weight loss. Before we can even talk about what to do when you want to lose weight in perimenopause, it is essential that we first define and understand what perimenopause actually is. Perimenopause is the transition period that is leading up to menopause. It is caused when hormones like estrogen and progesterone start to fluctuate, and it can last for multiple years. Menopause is defined as 12 consecutive months with no period, but perimenopause is the years leading up to that transition. And one of the things that most professional women are not aware of is that perimenopause can actually start in your mid to late 30s. You might notice changes in your menstrual cycle, in how you're sleeping. You might notice some mood changes, brain fog, hot flashes, and even shifts in how your body's holding weight. One of the most common things that I've heard is what used to work before stops working now. The way that you might have been eating before or maybe losing weight in the past stops working when you get to your mid to late 30s, early 40s, and definitely your 50s. How do you know when you're in perimenopause? Should you get labs? The short answer is no. You don't need labs to diagnose perimenopause. And before we start blaming perimenopause on all of our ailments, there is something important I want you to know. There are other things that can contribute to some of the same symptoms. Mood changes, sleep disturbances, and how you're gaining and losing weight can be affected by other medical issues that are happening for you. Other medical conditions that can result in mood changes, sleep changes, and absolutely will play a role in how you're gaining and losing weight is thyroid disorders, anemia, depression, any medical issues that cause insulin resistance like PCOS, and even sleep apnea. This is just a short list. There's actually many other medical conditions that can lead to some of your symptoms, and I share this very importantly because it's really easy to blame perimenopause for all of your symptoms, and it's essential that you understand the role of zooming out and really taking a look at the whole picture. Now let's talk about perimenopause specifically. This is the transition time leading up to menopause, and as I said earlier in this video, it can last for multiple years. One of the biggest changes for women is estrogen levels begin to decline. And I like to think about estrogen as the master conductor of your entire body. It plays a role in your mood, your metabolism, your muscle, and absolutely with your weight. One of estrogen's most important roles is actually helping to manage cortisol levels and your stress and even support your muscle mass. So what starts to happen when estrogen levels begin to fluctuate and eventually decline after the age of 35? Your mood and muscle mass become affected. Why does muscle matter so much? Think of muscle as a metabolically active tissue. It is playing a role not just in your vitality and in your strength long term, it is burning fat 24/7. It helps your body use glucose efficiently and it contributes to your metabolic resting state. As estrogen levels fluctuate and decline, your muscle mass also becomes affected. And when muscle mass declines, the amount of energy that your body expends at resting state starts to go down. Estrogen also will affect where fat is stored on your body and also impacts cortisol and stress levels, which also plays a role with where fat is distributed. Your body is not broken. It's just asking that you don't use the same strategy you might have used in your 20s in this era of your life. Before I get into some of the key simple strategies that you can use to support yourself in perimenopause, I want to first talk about a mindset that's essential for you to really take control. Let this season of your life become your non-negotiable era. One of the biggest barriers, particularly for professional women that I have noticed, is that what used to work in your teenage years and maybe your 20s, the loosey-goosey winging it approach stops working. And a lot of this is, again, body physiology. We don't have the reserves or the hormone support to just wing our body goals anymore. Taking care of your body has to become a non-negotiable, not just a nice to have. Entering your mid to late 30s can start to become the era that you take the most care of yourself. I want you to stop winging your health and wellness to the bottom of the list and bring it back to the top. Because when you feel better, when you're taken care of, when your muscle and mood is supported, I promise you're going to show up better in every single part of your life, in your career and at home. The very first strategy that I recommend anyone that's entering perimenopause and wants to support their body long-term is to protect your muscle. As we talked about earlier in this video, as estrogen levels start to fluctuate and decline, your muscle mass gets affected. Rather than blindly trying to eat less to lose weight, I want you to support your muscle, which is going to support your vitality. Remember, muscle is an active tissue and it's going to burn fat even in your sleep. Craft a strategy that you can fit into your real life. It doesn't have to be hours clocked at the gym. Something as simple as 10 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week at home can be the simplest way to start. Strength training is a specific type of exercise that challenges your muscles by working it with resistance. This can be with resistance bands, it can be your own body weight or some dumbbells, and the goal is to increase the number of reps or the amount of weight that you start lifting. The goal is not just to burn calories in the moment, it's as you build muscle will be burning fat for you 24/7. Not only is it going to burn fat, it's going to support your bone health, your mood, and your long-term vitality. One of the obstacles that I have noticed specifically with overachievers is this idea that you have to do it all to see any results, that you have to clock 1 hour at the gym every single day for it to even matter. This is having a really all or nothing approach that can be a huge barrier in you moving the needle starting now. I want to encourage you to create your minimum viable plan around your strength training efforts. This means deciding specifically on your calendar 10 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, and be specific with yourself. Make the math actually math. When do you want to prioritize this short period of time, a few times per week, to actually focus on building muscle? The second strategy that I recommend for women that are in their mid to late 30s entering perimenopause is to pay close attention to your nutrition. We have to do away with the eat less, move more mindset or calorie counting, because the truth is all calories are not created equal. Eating 1,000 calories of Skittles is not the same as eating 1,000 calories of high quality nutrient dense food. Part of the reason this is so important is particularly in your mid to late 30s and 40s as estrogen levels are fluctuating. We want to give your body the building blocks that she needs to feel satisfied and to support your muscle building efforts. I get into this in a lot more detail in my Body Reset mini course. I'll drop the link for that in the description box below if you're interested. But simply put, giving your body high quality nutrition, nutrient dense food is way more important, particularly as you enter perimenopause and menopause, than blind calorie counting or points tracking. One of the biggest mistakes I made 60 pounds ago, even as a physician who was an expert in women's health, was I would try to blindly calorie track my way to a weight loss goal. I wasn't paying attention to the quality of calories that I was consuming, and so I was able to lose weight, but because I felt so much stress around food, I never created freedom around food. Eventually, the scarcity approach would backfire and I would gain back more than I ever lost. Not only would toxic diet strategies completely backfire for me, I wasn't having the nutrition that was actually supporting my metabolism. I would lose weight, but I was also losing muscle. The entire purpose of the second step is really to pay attention to the quality of nutrition you're eating. Take a look at the labels of what you're actually having. Ultra refined, highly processed foods are not going to support you in perimenopause. They're not going to be hormone supportive, and they're not going to help your muscle. Number 3, sleep. I know that this is hard for the overachiever who is used to overworking all the time. You might be doing charts or answering emails late into the night, and then because you just want a break for yourself, you find yourself mindlessly scrolling your phone or grabbing a snack from the pantry. The truth is, having high quality sleep and enough of it is the most overlooked variable for overachieving women, particularly as you enter perimenopause. Sleep is when your body is doing some of its most important and restorative work. Sleep is when your body is recovering from the day. It's starting to repair tissue. If you worked out, it's actually helping you recover your muscle. It's a time when your body is regulating its hormones. It's supporting your brain health and is going to make a huge role in how your body processes stress. When sleep is disrupted, not only do you feel irritable the next day, which we've all been there, you're going to notice worsening brain fog. Your ability to focus on the task at hand is going to feel diminished, which is why you also will meander into the pantry, grab an extra cup of coffee just to wake yourself up. Starting in your mid to late 30s, Stop thinking about sleep as an indulgence or a luxury. It has to become a non-negotiable. Think of it like one of your most important rituals to support your success. There are some other side benefits when you actually go to sleep on time and give your brain and body a chance to properly rest. The first thing is when you stay up late into the middle of the night, scrolling your phone or trying to get through work, you will inadvertently also end up in the pantry. There's going to come a point after dinner that your gut starts to feel hungry again, either just to stay awake to get through some work or just to treat yourself to a break. Studies have shown that when you sleep less, you end up consuming more calories that your body didn't actually need. The other cost of not getting enough high quality sleep is your body doesn't know that you're safe. When you're not getting enough sleep, it perceives danger and scarcity. It's part of the reason that it affects your metabolism and your weight loss so much, which means poor sleep can actually impact body composition. Rather than losing weight from your fat stores, your body will start to lose weight from your muscle. Another cost to not getting enough high quality sleep is that it impacts your hunger hormones. Leptin and ghrelin are the hormones that impact your hunger and satiety and actually alters the way that these hormones function. Not only does it make you hungrier, it actually makes you hungrier for higher carb, higher fat foods. To recap this one point that I really want to drive home, sleep isn't just about you feeling better and having more energy the next day, though of course it helps that. Sleep is directly tied to your weight loss efforts. When you're sleep deprived, your hunger hormones rise, your cravings increase, your body will burn less fat and more muscle, and you will find your weight loss endeavors feel so much harder. One of the most common barriers that you might notice coming up for you as you're watching this video is, I don't know how and where and when I have the time. To work out, to give yourself high quality nutrition, and to get more sleep requires more time. But here's my challenge for you. If you do a simple time audit of the next 72 hours, let's really take a look and see where your time is actually going. I realized personally as a busy OB-GYN physician with 2 young kids and an unpredictable schedule, I had the claim for a very long time, I just don't have the time. But when I did a time audit, I started to see where my time was actually going. I was spending countless hours negotiating with myself, second guessing my strategies, sabotaging my results, scrolling my phone, mindlessly snacking, basically undoing a lot of my wins. So if you do a time audit for even 72 hours, you're going to find the exact amount of time it takes to actually solve this problem. The last strategy that I think is essential for me to mention in this video specifically is hormone replacement therapy. When you're in perimenopause, especially as you enter menopause, because you have fluctuating hormones, we do see a physiological effect on how you're feeling inside out. Hormone replacement therapy, often called HRT, can be an option for some women. This involves replacing estrogen and sometimes progesterone, depending whether or not you have a uterus, as a part of your success recipe. Think about hormone replacement therapy as a tool that you can pick up from your toolbox. Hormone replacement therapy for the right person can physiologically improve so many symptoms: sleep disturbances, hot flashes, mood changes, and overall quality of life. So I strongly recommend that you speak with your physician who is comfortable discussing hormone replacement therapy as a possible option. This isn't for everyone, but it's a really valuable tool for you to be aware of. The reality is, perimenopause can feel like a confusing and frustrating time for women, particularly because it can range for quite a few years. Depending on your genetics, family history, and of course personal history, it's hard to say exactly when you might start to notice these symptoms. The goal is not to fight your body. It's to work with the season of life you're in and to leverage science to get onto your side. You cannot wing your body goals anymore the way that you could maybe a decade ago. But think of this as an opportunity to take care of yourself in the way that you've been craving. Focusing on your muscle health, high quality nutrition, enough sleep, and possibly hormone replacement therapy as one of your tools is not just going to help you lose weight even in perimenopause, it's going to help you feel better on the inside out. And that is my entire mission for professional women. And if you want my help building your nutrition strategy in a way that really fits your life without toxic diet rules, I want you to check out my instant access body reset mini course, which I'll link in the description box below. If you found this video helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below with what you're taking away. My goal with this channel is to bring my perspective as an OB-GYN physician, but also as a busy professional mom with 2 young kids and a very busy life. What I have realized now over many years after keeping 60 pounds off through very busy seasons and sticky life situations, you feeling your best has to become a non-negotiable, not a nice to have. And when you come into your health and your body goals with that lens, I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better starting now. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the comments.